Let's start with our first news. Ilia has made a bold prediction ahead of a potential showdown with Justin Gaethje, and his confidence couldn't be any higher. Speaking about the matchup, Ilia admitted that Justin is unlike anyone he has faced before. He acknowledged Justin's reputation as a legendary fighter and said he has always enjoyed watching his fights as a fan because they are consistently exciting and entertaining. However, once the conversation shifted from admiration to competition, Ilia's tone changed completely. According to him, he sees almost zero chance of Justin finding success against him inside the octagon. While he respects Justin's accomplishments, he believes their fight would be heavily one-sided. Ilia explained that every fighter brings a different style and a unique challenge. Even though he recognizes Justin's dangerous abilities, he remains fully convinced that the outcome is already clear in his mind. He stated that he has prepared for every possible scenario and feels ready for a battle that could last far longer than a standard championship fight. In fact, Ilia emphasized his conditioning by saying he has the stamina not just for 5 rounds, but for 5 days if necessary. He explained that he knows exactly what it feels like to push through exhaustion, continue fighting when the body wants to quit, and keep moving forward no matter how difficult things become. That confidence comes from countless hours of preparation and an unwavering belief in his abilities. Despite claiming he is ready for a long and grueling contest, Ilia revealed that he does not expect the fight to last very long at all. He said he has complete faith that he will finish Justin in the very first round. More than simply winning, Ilia wants to deliver a spectacular performance and create a memorable moment for the fans. His prediction is clear, his confidence is unshakable, and he believes the fight will end with a first-round finish in impressive fashion. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has revealed that the UFC has not asked him to attend the upcoming UFC White House event, despite the fact that Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane are set to compete in a major heavyweight contest connected to the title picture. While many fans expected the reigning heavyweight champion to be involved in some capacity, Tom explained that nobody from the UFC has reached out to him about attending the event. Speaking on the situation, Tom admitted that he finds it somewhat strange. He pointed out that in combat sports, when major fights take place that directly affect a champion's future, the champion is usually present. Whether it's boxing or MMA, title holders are often cage-aside, providing commentary, building anticipation, and keeping themselves connected to the division they rule. Tom compared the situation to some of boxing's biggest names. He explained that it would feel unusual to have a major heavyweight fight without the champion being around to watch and react, especially when the winner could potentially become his next opponent. From his perspective, that has always been a normal part of championship sports. The discussion became even more interesting when it was suggested that not having Tom present for such an important heavyweight fight would be a mistake. Many believe the champion should be visible whenever contenders are competing for a chance to challenge him. After all, the entire purpose of these fights is to determine who gets closer to the heavyweight crown. Despite those arguments, Tom made it clear that he does not feel disrespected by the UFC's decision. In fact, he admitted that he had not even thought about it that way until the topic was brought up during the conversation. While others may view the situation as disrespectful toward the champion, Tom remains calm and professional about the entire matter. However, he also made one thing absolutely clear. If the UFC were to contact him and ask him to attend, he would be there immediately. Tom repeatedly stated that if the invitation came, he would gladly show up and support the event. There would be no hesitation on his part. For Tom, the issue is actually very simple. He is the heavyweight champion, and the fighters competing are battling for a path that could eventually lead to him. Because of that, many people believe his presence makes perfect sense. Nevertheless, Tom is not demanding anything. He is simply saying that if the UFC wants him there, he is ready, willing, and happy to attend. Move on to another news. Justin Gaethje has shared his thoughts on what he believes went wrong for Ilia's previous opponents, and he is confident that he will approach the challenge very differently. According to Justin, one of the biggest mistakes fighters have made against Ilia is allowing themselves to get pushed backward and forced onto the defensive. Justin explained that many of Ilia's recent opponents found themselves in compromised positions after giving up ground. Once they were backed up and placed on their heels, they struggled to deal with the pressure and speed coming their way. In Justin's view, that shift in momentum played a huge role in the outcomes of those fights. He pointed to moments where opponents were caught during exchanges after retreating and losing control of the positioning battle. As soon as they started moving backward, they became more vulnerable to Ilia's attacks. That is exactly the situation Justin wants to avoid when the two eventually meet inside the octagon. For Justin, the key is simple. He refuses to spend the fight backing away. Instead, he plans to move forward from the opening bell and force his own style onto the contest. He believes that constantly giving ground can create opportunities for Ilia to build confidence and dictate the pace, something he has no intention of allowing. Justin acknowledged that his strategy comes with risks. Moving forward against a dangerous finisher like Ilia could place him in some very dangerous situations. However, he believes that accepting those risks is necessary if he wants to give himself the best chance of victory. Rather than fighting cautiously and waiting for opportunities, Justin intends to be the one applying pressure. He also reminded everyone that this aggressive mindset is nothing new. Throughout his career, Justin has built his reputation on moving forward, engaging in intense exchanges, and refusing to take a backward step. That mentality has helped him become one of the most exciting fighters in the sport, and he sees no reason to abandon it now. According to Justin, the upcoming matchup will be fought on his terms. He understands the danger that Ilia presents, but he is determined to remain aggressive and stay committed to his game plan. Even if it puts him in difficult positions, he believes that constant forward pressure is the correct approach. Justin's message was clear and direct. He believes Ilia's previous opponents made the mistake of retreating, and when their fight happens, he plans to do the exact opposite. He will move forward, embrace the danger, and trust the style that has defined his entire career. Move on to another news. Sean Strickland has stirred up controversy once again after claiming he has been banned from attending the upcoming UFC White House event. The comments came during an exchange in his Instagram comment section, where fans were discussing the event and who might be present. According to Sean, he believes his exclusion is connected to comments he has made in the past about political figures and public issues. In one of his posts, he referenced Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, while discussing the UFC event. Sean then continued with a series of remarks that quickly attracted attention from fans following the conversation online. As the discussion gained momentum, Sean claimed that he had, in fact, been banned from the event. He suggested that people in positions of power do not always appreciate being mocked or criticized publicly. His comments immediately sparked debate among followers, with some questioning whether he was serious and others asking for more details about the situation. One user directly asked Sean why he believed he had been banned. In response, Sean stated that it was because of comments he had made regarding Israel and other controversial topics. He continued to defend his position and argued that his outspoken opinions may have contributed to the decision. Sean went even further by claiming that his criticism of certain political figures played a role in his alleged exclusion from the White House event. Throughout the exchange, he maintained that his comments and public statements were the reason he was no longer welcome to attend. It is important to note that these remarks came directly from Sean's social media interactions, and he presented them as his own explanation for the situation. As of his comments, he appeared convinced that his outspoken nature and willingness to criticize powerful figures had resulted in him being left out of the event. The entire conversation quickly spread across MMA communities, with fans debating whether Sean was being completely serious, exaggerating for effect, or simply expressing frustration in his usual unfiltered style. Regardless of where people stand on the issue, the comments generated significant attention and added another layer of controversy surrounding the highly anticipated UFC White House event. For now, Sean remains firm in his position. He continues to claim that he has been banned from the event and believes his past statements are the reason behind it. Whether that claim proves accurate or not, the situation has already become a hot topic among MMA fans and continues to generate major discussion across social media. Move on to another news. Belal Muhammad has made it clear that he is no longer interested in chasing a fight with Kamaru Usman. Ahead of his upcoming matchup against Gabriel Bonfim at UFC Vegas 118, Belal spoke openly about his current mindset and why he has decided to move on from a fight that many fans have wanted to see for years. According to Belal, there was a time when facing Usman was a major goal. However, after spending so much time trying to secure the matchup without success, he has reached a point where he simply does not think about it anymore. Belal explained that, in his view, Usman has been avoiding the fight for a long time, And because of that, he sees no reason to continue pursuing someone who does not appear interested in sharing the octagon with him. Bilal's attitude now is focused entirely on the present. Rather than worrying about missed opportunities or fights that never came together, he is concentrating on the challenge directly in front of him. Once the UFC offered him Gabriel Bonfim, Bilal immediately accepted the situation and shifted all of his attention toward preparing for that contest. He emphasized that his only concern right now is getting his hand raised and returning to the win column. More importantly, he wants to remind fans, analysts, and the entire MMA world exactly who he is and what he is capable of accomplishing inside the cage. For Bilal, that mission has become far more important than spending time talking about a fight that may never happen. The former champion also suggested that there comes a point where constantly calling for a fight can become unnecessary. In his opinion, repeatedly pursuing the same opponent starts to create the wrong image. Bilal explained that he has no interest in looking desperate or appearing as though he is constantly pressuring someone into accepting a fight. Instead, he believes it is time to move forward. Usman is no longer the focus of his career plans, and he appears completely comfortable with that decision. The way Bilal sees it, the opportunity came and went, and there is no benefit in continuing to dwell on it. Now, all of his energy is directed toward Gabriel Bonfim and the challenge that awaits him this weekend. Bilal's message was simple and direct. The pursuit of Usman is over. The focus has shifted completely to the next opponent, and his priority is securing a big win while reminding everyone why he remains one of the top welterweights in the sport. Move on to another news. Usman Nurmagomedov has shared his thoughts on the rumored matchup between Conor and Max Holloway, and his opinion may surprise some fans. While many people are excited about the possibility of seeing one of MMA's biggest stars return to action, Usman is not convinced that the fight will actually happen. When asked whether he believes Conor will make it to the scheduled bout, Usman gave a very honest response. He explained that his first concern is whether Conor will even step into the octagon. According to Usman, he simply does not have confidence that the fight will take place as planned. While he did not go into extensive detail, he made it clear that he remains skeptical about Conor's return. Usman then turned his attention to the potential matchup itself. Even if Conor does show up and the fight becomes official, he is still unsure whether Conor would be able to defeat Max. The main reason for that doubt is the amount of time Conor has spent away from active competition. Usman pointed out that being absent from the sport for such a long period creates serious challenges for any fighter. In a sport that evolves rapidly, years away from competition can have a major impact on timing, conditioning, sharpness, and overall performance. He believes that returning after such an extended break is never easy, regardless of how talented or accomplished a fighter may be. Despite his doubts, Usman also acknowledged something very important. If Conor were to return, compete, and actually secure a victory over Max, it would be a massive boost for the sport. He explained that Conor remains one of the biggest stars MMA has ever seen, and his success would generate enormous attention across the combat sports world. According to Usman, a winning return for Conor would create headlines everywhere, spark conversations among fans, and bring even more viewers back to MMA. The excitement surrounding a successful comeback would likely attract casual audiences as well as longtime followers of the sport. While he may not be confident that the fight happens, and while he has questions about Conor's chances if it does, Usman still recognizes the value that Conor brings to MMA. In his view, Conor remains one of the sport's true superstars. Usman's position was clear. He doubts the fight will happen. He is uncertain that Conor could defeat Max after such a lengthy absence, but he believes a Conor victory would be great for MMA and would generate enormous attention for the sport as a whole. Move on to another news. Josh Hoki has once again found himself in the middle of controversy, this time taking several shots at Ilia following their recent exchange at the White House press conference. The tension between the two appears to be growing, and neither side seems interested in backing down anytime soon. As many fans already know, the relationship between Josh and Ilia has become increasingly hostile in recent weeks. What started as verbal exchanges has now turned into a public feud, with both sides attracting attention across the MMA community. The rivalry took another turn after comments made by Justin Gaethje regarding Ilia's former relationship. Justin recently made remarks about Ilia's ex-wife, joking that he would have left as well if he were in her position. The comments quickly spread online and generated strong reactions from fans. Not long after, Josh decided to weigh in on the situation himself. responding publicly. Josh showed support for Justin's comments and posted a short but attention-grabbing reaction. His response immediately fueled even more discussion among fans who were already following the ongoing drama surrounding Ilia. Josh did not stop there. He later shared a clip from one of Ilia's recent interviews and added another mocking comment aimed directly at the former champion. The remark focused on Ilia's appearance and was clearly intended as a jab rather than a serious criticism. As expected, the post generated plenty of reactions across social media, with supporters and critics debating the latest exchange. Meanwhile, Josh also found himself responding to another fighter who has expressed interest in facing him in the future. Sergey Pavlovich recently posted a message suggesting that Josh should take care of business in his upcoming fight, and if victorious, the two could potentially meet later this year. The challenge quickly caught the attention of MMA fans. With Josh scheduled to face Derek Lewis on the highly anticipated White House card, many saw Sergey's comments as an attempt to position himself for a future showdown. Josh's response was anything but subtle. He fired back with a very aggressive message, making it clear that he was not interested in discussing future fights until his current business was handled. The reply instantly became another talking point among fans and added even more heat to the growing list of rivalries surrounding him. At the moment, Josh appears fully focused on creating headlines both inside and outside the cage. Between his comments about Ilia, his support of Justin's remarks, and his heated response to Sergey, he has once again become one of the most talked about figures leading into the upcoming White House event.